we talked about Chappelle a little bit earlier, but how do you get your name in the Chappelle Show skit?
Funny enough, again, we knew each other. He was big bro, and when I would see him outside of the comedy club, so he kind of always recognized my success and was really proud of me because he's like, "Yo, I remember you just a kid like I was." Yeah. But randomly, we got a call one day, respectfully, you know what I mean? Because every Chappelle Show was hot, you know. So he was filming the second season, and he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna do this skit about you stealing all my movie roles," and I was like, "Huh?" And he's like, and my son's gonna be your biggest fan. And I was like, you know, at the end of the skit, I'm gonna say, NickCannon. And I was like, that sounds hilarious. And then it kind of became an ongoing skit. I think we did it like 2 or 3 times that season. Ultimately, I think on the season finale. And I mean, you know, art imitating life, or the other way around, because that episode was about him saying, I'm leaving the industry and all that stuff. And then he's walking down the street and I'm walking with his son. And he's like, it's my new dad now. And like, but that actually happened during a time where he was thinking about actually leaving the show. And it's funny because he allowed me to go on the road and open up for him. So I was out there with him for, you know, a couple of months where I saw him, you know,
he was wrestling with the idea.
Yeah, man. And it inspired me to see how he stood 10 toes down for who he was and wasn't gonna, you know, because it was people that was close to him that he was like, yo, wait, are y'all laughing with me or are you laughing at me? Type of vibe. And I got to see him work through that and be next to my brother. And like I said, it inspired me even in the decisions that I made with my career, with, you know, holding on to integrity and stuff. So I salute him for that opportunity all the way to just being a great example to this day.
Well, I heard that he had a conversation where he's saluted Eddie Murphy received a Lifetime Achievement Award or something, and he says he's thinking about bringing the Chappelle Show back.
Heard that'd be fire.
It would. You think you think he could replicate it? Because man,
I only think, like, you always say you don't want to touch greatness. You know what I mean? But I think he's not going to do it the same way.
Right. Okay.
I mean, even in a time when we dealing with, you know, I think it's still that spirit is still like, obviously he's goated beyond belief. He's at a different stage than he was there.
Because now you talk about the greatest comedians of all time. Now, you know, before you probably just say, Pryor or Murphy. Yeah. Now I think you have to have a serious conversation. Dave Chappelle is somewhere around that top 3, and I'm not so sure he's 3.
Absolutely.
Or 2.
Yeah, when you think about it, I mean, that's the thing, like, to your point, it's almost like where people asking Eddie to come back and do stand-up. Yeah. It's like, I just want raw and delirious.
No, that's it.
You know what I mean? That's what, and it's like, Chappelle's show was so great.
It was.
And it was at a different time. And he's become the greatest stand-up of all time. Yes. So it's like, all right, you kind of just got to be like, it was what it was, and I'll do something new or different. Right. But the fact that he's considering even playing in that space, and then because we have, you know, brilliant minds like Drewski and all that stuff who are really just paying homage to what they seen Dave do in certain spaces.
Key and Peele came behind him and did what they did. Yeah. But only, I mean, if you go back and think about sequels, only the Godfather sequel was better than
That's the only one.
To go back
Beverly Hills Cop 2 might have been, them might be the only 2 sequels that was better than the original.
Funny that you said that. You said Drewski. What do you think about Drewski? He's caught a lot of criticism for, they said it was a mocking. He was mocking Erica Kirk. Yeah. He did another one about the minister. Yeah. He's done a country guy with overalls on and white face. Yeah. Where are you? I mean, you're a comedian. Yeah. So you understand the space.
I remember when he did it. I mean, obviously because being a character actor as well. I remember when he first did it, I sent him a screenshot. I was like, be careful, I got canceled doing this before. Yeah. It was me as Connor Smallnut. I did this whole thing where I did like, I had to go on Good Morning America and explain what whiteface was. Right. I was like, whiteface are some mountains in New York. That's like that. Like blackface is a whole different thing. And I remember having to go through everything that he, you know, is currently going through. Right. And, you know, people get sensitive, man. People get really sensitive. But as a comedian, that's your purpose. It's to hold that mirror up into society and say, look, this is what y'all do. This is what y'all about. And that's when you know brilliance is operating, when somebody can make people uncomfortable but still make them laugh.
At the start of every new year, I set my goals. I tell myself this year I'm eating right, I'm working out, I'm working hard, staying on track. Then reality hits. Work, travel, cravings, distractions. Life just loves to test your focus. I've been there. I've fallen off, But I don't stay down because Amazon helps bring me back up every time. Amazon is here to make sticking to your goals easier. From healthy snacks I need to workout gear I like to have on hand. All of my everyday essentials are available to purchase in one place. Not to mention, I can get it delivered fast so I don't have to worry about making a trip to the store and adding to my already busy schedule. Great prices, no running around, no extra hassle. Now that's convenient. So when life tries to steer you off track, Amazon can help get you back to the plan, focus on your goals, and stay on your grind. Save every day with essentials from Amazon. I think that there was a time that probably wouldn't even got a passing thought, and people would, I mean, the comedians like you grew up listening to and that you grew up loving and what I grew up with in the 80s and 90s. And it's kind of coming back to that because for a long time, you get canceled. You couldn't say, like roast.
Yeah.
You remember how the roast was with Dean Martin had those roasts and they had Lucille Ball and they had even sitcoms. Man, what Archie Bunker would say on those sitcoms.
Crazy.
What George Jefferson.
George Jefferson and Archie Bunker was saying nigga in primetime TV.
With the two G's.
Yeah.
It wasn't no G-A.
Yeah.
It was ER
at the end of it.
Yes.
And they were just saying, like it was regular on TV. And it's interesting that we say that because, again, it just speaks to how people want to elevate and become better, which I have no problem with. But sometimes when, like, just because you're more sensitive doesn't mean you're actually going in the right direction.
Okay.
So I think people, somebody told me this brilliant statement. It was like, people are only sensitive about the truth. And if it's a lie or something like that, it'll just go by. But if it hits something inside you, like, ooh, it's ringing some truth in there. So therefore, that's what makes it. It's that one wound, it's that one tooth that hurt and that air hit it.
Yeah.
That's why you sensitive, because they're really hitting on something that's poignant. So I welcome it. That's our job as comedians.
Right.
And like I said, I went through that fire a couple of times. I've been canceled so many times, but I remember I was doing whiteface on Nickelodeon.
Right.
Like if you go back and look at the NickCannon show, I got a character called Dirty Larry where I was an old white, like just from the bottoms, trash like worker type of dude. And nobody said that. Me and Keenan we was they get the comedians and dresses thing, but we was doing that as teenagers, but we were having fun.
Right.
Like we were making children's television being characters. We weren't thinking about politics or stereotypes or anything like that. We were just having fun. And I think that's the root of comedy. You should be able to have as much fun and come from a place of innocence as long as you're not doing it with any malice. I think that's where we get caught up in it, because if we look, there's a long history of people portraying different races in entertainment. And we've seen it from, Dan Aykroyd in Trading Places with Eddie Murphy to Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon. They all did it, but nobody got mad at it.
What's the guy that was in Iron Man?
Oh, Robert Downey Jr. in Tropic Thunder. Like he was brilliant. And they made that, which was smart for Ben Stiller, the director. Is like that's what they made his conflict and his storyline about. Is that he was this brilliant Australian actor that wanted to go deep, and so he just straight method became a nigga like the whole time. Is Drewski, some of the skits that he's doing, is that kind of the new Chappelle show? I think it is. I think that's kind of what I was getting at, to where like the platforms and the landscape is so different that like that's the way you got to do it. Like, cause TV is not what it used to be. We used to literally turn on the TV, set our timers, set our TiVos to record all the Chappelle shows. Yep. Now that's in our pocket. Yep. So I think if you're not doing it the way this generation is doing it, it's not going to hit the same. No. Because that was controversial. That was news. That was like, oh, did you see when he said, like, you got to be on these phones to be able to do that. And digital is where it's headed. Yeah, and you got to be able to move like that. Like I said, Dave on the mountain. This nigga bought a whole city. But I know the creativity to what he wants to do is going to be there, and we're going to be able to see. He's going to do it in a different way. That's how I feel.
Want to join Club Shay Shay? Become an official member by hitting that subscribe button, where you never know who's going to be joining us for drinks and conversation. Don't be late to the party, because we like to do something before two something.